After barely just missing out on the finals for the qualifier held locally here in Hawaii, I had to look at other options to qualify for Nationals 24. Call me crazy for even considering something like this. But alas, I flew 5,000 miles to play in a Catan tournament. We decided upon taking a look at Ithaca, New York. What I did not realize, however, was how big New York actually was. Catching my bus within just a few minutes of departure. The distance between our hotel in Manhattan and Ithaca was approximately 6 hours. With only thoughts and prayers in mind, I set out with high spirits that I'd not only be able to compete, but I'd win and qualify.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Our bus engine at one point ended up breaking down, resulting in myself arriving later than I would have liked to, but we had made it. The event took place in a strip mall. This worked out in my favor. It was just a few minutes of walking between the game store and my hotel room. I was the first to arrive and sit on the nearby tables, with an online Discord friend, Agron, following suit shortly after. There was unease and unrest whether or not the event would even count, as with official qualifiers, you needed a minimum of 12 players, with other events held by the store allegedly not even fulfilling anywhere near this amount. People that ran this store were incredibly kind and supportive individuals. After hearing we did not hit the minimum player count, they made several calls and delayed the actual starting of the tournament, and with that, we did manage to scrape together 14 players to start.
I could have played one more road. I thought I was missing a brick.
Tried to track which way they're loaded.
Let me give you a breakdown on how these in-person events generally run. In most cases, you play a minimum of 3 preliminary games, and then the top 4 performing players proceed to a finals. In groups of higher player counts, there will typically be a semifinals of a top 16. With a group as small as 14, you really only need 2 wins to guarantee finals, and in some cases, you can make it in with 1 win and 2 high-scoring games. As small as this one, however, repeated games are inevitable. And with this, I find that there's a little bit of metagaming. In Catan, games can inevitably get heated, emotions and tensions can rise, because at the end of the day, to win, players that communicate and wheel and deal end up proving more consistent results. But to this point, something to highlight about Game 1 is that I pulled a Monopoly as my first development card that I did not even end up playing. The pacing that my game had was exceptional, and I closed it out with a strong development card strategy. Using the Monopoly when I did not need to would have possibly put a negative strain on the social aspect for the remainder of my tournament, so this was a conscious decision that I had made. In Game 2, I got paired against Agron. Despite Agron being equal to my experience and skill, I had approached the other 2 players with a much more lighter and friendly nature than he did, which allowed me to generate a significant amount of trades and value, even while in a leading position. We ended up cleaning out this game with a win from both the trades we acquired and the favorable amount of 4 rolls. In Game 3, things did not go quite as planned. We could not secure a win condition, and instead opted to try to extend the game as long as we could. Despite this, White played an exceptional game, and I was not able to push the other 2 players enough with our limited resources to prevent White from pulling a victory point for the win. In our finals game, though I was equal in 2 wins, 7 points with a player named Praga, he took top seed overall due to strength of schedule, which effectively means he just played against better opponents. With Praga placing first seed, he actually has the choice on the final board to place in any position between first and fourth. He ends up choosing second, and with that I take first on the board. I knew I'd end up with a strong 4-wheat sheep spot, and was not too concerned with what would be left for me on the way back. This left Agron taking 3rd and Eric being left with the 4th pick. The game was lengthy. Lasting over 2 hours, the turns went on and on. I had begun taking a very early lead in the middle stage due to no other player purchasing development cards, and spent almost an entire hour taking no actions of any kind other than talking and trading. This type of table balancing, social engineering, and deal making is what eventually led to the closure of this game.
7, 8, 9, and thank you.
Well played.
With this, I felt accomplished. I had done what I had set out to do, which was qualify for US Nationals 2024. Our journey does not stop here. We want to claim more titles and more championships. But even more than this, the beauty of Catan is more than just a game to me. It's the experience and the people you meet along the way. And with this, I conclude. Until next time, shades out.